kids being stabbed. We have kids being crushed. We even have Miguel Nunez of Juana Man and Return of the Living Dead fame being killed in an outhouse. And if you notice, the outhouse is covered in graffiti from all the other kids in the halfway house. Their names are actually on it. Or at the very least, Vince's name is on there a lot. And it all basically comes down to crazy Tommy Jarvis versus Roy the paramedic pretending to be Jason. Or that would be if Tommy Jarvis was any good in the one fight we needed him to be. He gets his ass kicked almost instantly, and it's up to one of Gary Coleman's buddies from Different Strokes, and a girl that I swear to God is not Trisha from the previous film with a chainsaw going after Roy. And I gotta admit, at the first couple times I saw this one, when USA used to do marathons of Friday the 13th all the time, this was not my favorite at all. I really didn't like it because where the hell's Jason? It's just this dude. I mean, it's not this Jason. This Jason is Friday the 13th, Part 7 Jason, my favorite Jason. The first one with Kane Hodder. But this is just this guy, Roy, pretending to be Jason. What the hell is that? But the more I watch it, the more it's really just a lot of fun. Because, like number 4, the teenage murders are coming in fairly rapid succession. Characters are given enough personality to, then just off. And it really just, it's a Friday the 13th movie. As Roger Ebert said about the fourth one, and it sort of applies to all of them, it's just completely immoral, reprehensible filmmaking. Which, if that's not a recipe for a good time, I don't know what is. We miss Roger Ebert, though. Some things to look for is the pseudo-homosexual couple, the guys in the leather hats and tight jeans that are broken down. The really obnoxious one is the nebbish fellow from Biloxi Blues with Matthew Broderick. He's Epstein in Biloxi Blues, that's his name. Also, the leader, or the guy that runs the halfway house, Matt, is the proto-Indiana Jones at the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the one that gives the hat to River Phoenix at the beginning. I mentioned before he was a semi-regular on Different Strokes as Gary Coleman's buddy. And even Corey Feldman manages to get films a little cameo dream sequence at the beginning. Corey was actually filming Goonies at the time and only managed to get one day off and filmed it. And that's why, he's in it so little before we get to, semi-grown up and completely insane Tommy Jarvis. The end of the film features Tommy, finally confronting his demons and wishing them away. Or does he? Because the very last shot is him with the hockey mask ready to kill people. But as it turns out, nobody liked this movie, or especially the end of this movie. So basically, most of it was ditched for Friday the 13th, number 6, Jason Lives! Now, in terms of the macro story of the Friday the 13th series, everything changes in this one, even though it's going to look a hell of a lot like the same product we got in the previous 5 installments and the product we'd get in the next 6. But bear with me. So, this time we have Hero Tommy Jarvis, played by Tom Matthews, also from Return of the Living Dead with Miguel Nunez. Hero Tommy, in his luscious, bedenimed outfit, and his trusty sidekick, Horshack, from Welcome Back, Kotter, have decided it's time to lay Jason Voorhees to rest for real. And I'm talking Winchester style. We're going to salt and burn the bones. the bones that don't exist anymore because he was cremated. Okay, so it's a slight retcon. Now there's a corpse in the dirt. Now, here's the thing. Whereas in 2, 3, and 4, Jason was just a crazy mountain man who was very difficult to kill, it is only in number 6 that Jason becomes God's unholy agent of death. No, I'm completely serious. It's God. God does it, and God wants it. And here's the evidence. So Tommy goes to the cemetery, Crystal Lake Cemetery, or now Forest Green Cemetery. The town of Crystal Lake, oddly enough, is trying to distance itself from its mass murdering past, and has now rebranded itself as Forest Green. But it's really Crystal Lake. So Tommy goes to the cemetery, finds Jason's grave, and digs him up. Now, it has been, a windy but otherwise clear night up to this point. And upon seeing Jason's dead body, Tommy can't help it. The rage that we saw so often in number 5 creeps back up. He runs, grabs the nearest metal post, rips it off of the fence, and proceeds to stab Jason in the heart repeatedly. Okay, so this all happens. And then once he gets that out of his system, he goes back to plan A, burn the body. Douses the body in gasoline. And just as he's about to set him on fire, lightning out of nowhere comes down and strikes the metal post, stabbed into Jason's heart. Now, look, hear me out. The lightning doesn't hit the tree that's right next to Jason's grave. The tree that is much higher, and one would think would go, the lightning would be drawn to that quicker. It goes to the much lower, because, understand, Jason's still in the ground. He's 6 feet underground. The metal pole is under the ground, and yet that's where the lightning goes, because that's where God wanted the lightning to go. Okay, I hear you there. It could be just a fluke, or it could be I just don't know how electricity works. I've never understood how this magic box records me or makes me look so fat. But once Jason comes back to life and is proceeding to kill Horshack and about to set his sights on Tommy goes to set him on fire, because remember, Jason's doused in gasoline. The minute Tommy starts futzing around with his matches, by the by, big improvement from the Winchesters, always bring a Zippo so that you can toss it and look badass. Matches, come on. So, as he's trying to strike the matches, rain, because God wants Jason alive, and he wants Jason alive to put the fear into everyone. And this is what makes it so fascinating, because where before Jason was just a guy that was difficult to kill, Jason is now impossible to kill. You can't kill something that's dead, but he's walking around and he's killing everybody. And unlike other interpretations that say Jason is a moral enforcer, I say no. Jason kills anybody. Jason kills everybody. Like, remember in number 4, he kills a hitchhiker that's just on the road eating a banana. What did they do? And this one, he kills camp counselors that haven't done anything yet. And I find all of this fascinating. Number 6 is also really just a great movie, because it's long before Scream or Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon, or Cabin Fever. Friday the 13th Part 6 tried to introduce some self-referential humor. It had fun with it. The opening, after Jason comes back to life, they do a parody of the James Bond rifle scope moment. They do jokes with American Express right when he's killing the would-be new heads of the camp. One of them played by Tony Goldwyn of Ghost fame. He's the bad guy in Ghost. He's the victim. There's breaking the fourth wall. There's gags. Originally, there was only another gag was going to be there was only going to be 13 people killed in it, but then, ironically, unlike all the other movies where the directors were asked to cut things down or cut things out, this one the director was asked to add more murder because it wasn't. They were really trying to slough off the negativity for number 5. This one Jason is portrayed by C.J. Graham, who I totally met, and features some of my favorite deaths. The whole paintball executive sequence is one of my favorite bits in any of these movies, and it's just number 6 is just so much fun. Another fun fact, and this might be one of the biggest shocks. This is the only Friday the 13th film that actually has kids at the camp. This is actually unique in that not only is it at a camp, but there are kids at the camp. Somebody, like a whole bunch of parents, sent their kids to this camp. I mean, sure, they changed the name to Forest Green, but let's be real. They sent it to the camp with Jason. Who would do that? And finally, we see Tommy become the hero he wanted, or he was supposed to be. He takes the fight to Jason. He also fights the cops because for some reason they think he's insane. But he managed to get past that and get Jason out on the lake, and with the help of a very hot nubile blonde, takes him out. Because this is what Tommy was born to do. And he's one of the few final people, I guess we can't call him the final girl, who he made it through 3 films. And then we never saw him again. He's out. And if you're in Baltimore and you want to watch a hell of a lot of Friday the 13th, give me a message. We'll be trying to watch as many as humanly possible because we go until we drop. But you guys, if you just want a good little sampling of awesome Friday the 13th wonderfulness, number 4, the final chapter, number 5, A New Beginning, and number 3, Jason Lives! And I hope you guys survive the night, and I will see you guys next week.